So exactly when do you think AOC and the squad, as well as the rest of the rabid left Democrats, in particular those of you that might be watching this video, are going to actually figure out you got scammed by Nancy Botox Pelosi? You do know that Nancy Pelosi has no intention of bringing actual articles of impeachment against President Trump. You know that, right? She did what she did, which was this big grand announcement about the fake impeachment. Notice I said fake impeachment. And here's what I mean by that. She has this big press conference. She basically says, we're going to do what we've been doing, which is this never-ending fishing expedition, witch hunt, whatever you want to call it, where we're just constantly looking for something, some excuse, some reason that maybe is actually impeachable. But I'm making this announcement like we're actually going forward with impeachment. As she's standing there laughing and trying to, hold her dentures in. When the whole time she knows she's not really going to do that. Especially on this whole Ukraine deal, this phone call that was basically one leader, Donald Trump, saying to another leader, President of Ukraine, hey, you've got corruption in your country, some Americans are involved, you need to look into it. Shazam, Batman, that might line right up with the president's constitutional duty. She knows there's nothing impeachable there. She also knows that she's got a rabid, progressive left group of loons she can't control. So what does she do? Well, for lack of a better phrase, she jerks them off. Makes them think that they're moving forward on impeachment. Al Green's out there beside himself. AOC is like, we have the evidence. You've got Rashida Tlaib now saying they're looking into ways of arresting members of the Trump administration. I mean, these people are just off the rails, criminally insane. So Nancy throws them this bone. They think that they're really on the impeachment trail, when they're not. She's not going to impeach him. She's not going to bring forth actual articles of impeachment because she knows, not only is the Senate not going to go for this, there's nothing there, and the polling of the American people reveals they get it. And they see this for what it is. The only reason so many of these Democratic representatives in vulnerable districts of areas where Donald Trump won went along, they were pressured to make the speaker look good, but they were also promised this will never go to a vote. You will never have to actually vote for this. So as we get closer to the 2020 election, you'll be able to tell your constituents in a Trump district, I didn't vote to impeach. I said we ought to look at it, let's see if there's any there, but I never voted to impeach him. Which is why the president, in yet another 4D chess move with his letter to Nancy Botox Pelosi, said, no one in this White House is going to cooperate in any way with Adam Schiff brains or the rest of you clowns on any so-called inquiry. If you really think you're going to subpoena us, if you really think you're going to start getting records and testimony and you haven't voted on this, it ain't happening. In other words, what Trump did was he called her bluff nationally. He said, if you want testimony from my cabinet members, from people in the inner circle, if you want any more records, any more memos, any more whatever, then you convene the House and you vote. Without a vote, not a record. Nothing. Which, of course, Nancy in her, quasi-epileptic, well, the president just doesn't even know the Constitution. Oh, this is an actual impeachment. This is an inquiry, and we don't have to take a vote for an inquiry. And what that has to do is that's got to put AOC, that's got to put the squad back a little bit, saying, wait a minute, I thought we were actually moving forward on impeachment. Why are you not voting? Because Nancy knows this is political poison. It is suicide. It is toxic. This will kill any chance the Democrats had of holding on to Congress. See, right now, they're not going to win the presidency because there's not a single candidate in that clown car that has captured the American people. And even though it looks like Warren is edging out Biden as the front runner, Pocahontas, the only pole she's climbing to the top of is a totem pole. Americans are not going to elect her because at the end of the day, she's pale and she's stale. That's just, I'm sorry. She doesn't have the edge of being the first woman. Hillary Rodham Clinton's already sucked all that oxygen out of the room. It's done. It's done. And the Democrats know that. So all they can do is keep trying to throw enough mud and crapola on the president to keep people from voting for him because they got nothing that people would vote for them on. But they know he's going to win re-election. What they were really hoping to do is maintain their majority in the House and maybe take the Senate. And that is all off the table if this goes to an impeachment vote. Nancy knows that, and you libloons that are watching this, you got scammed. You got scammed by Nancy Botox Pelosi. You got scammed. You actually thought this was going somewhere. You got scammed. Hey, otherwise, this is the one thing you could join Trump on. Demand they vote. Demand the House actually put it to a vote. You got scammed. Well, that's it for this rant. Hey, thanks so much for watching. You have yourself a great weekend. Don't forget, we'll be back on the air on Monday, AM 840, WPGS, local840.com if you want to tune in and catch us. We're on at 12:05 and 5:05, Monday through Thursday. It's an hour of me, your irreverent reverend of the airwaves, your adorable, deplorable, irresistible, irreverent reverend of the airwaves. Hey, give us a thumbs up and a like, and make sure you smack the bell for my next rant.